we are good. Let us continue. We're only doing one thing today. We're building the ship that's going to take us to Aquilo. Think. You need a radar out there, actually. I don't even know that I need to restart the biter egg production. I might just go double up the number of laser turrets that are out there. But I don't actually think I need any more for the time being, and I can just decide to restart it whenever I want. Though it would be nice to know why it happened, I guess. Can I build a loudspeaker? Iron plate, copper cable. I should figure out why it's happening, I guess. My suspicion is that it ran out of bioflux somehow. And then everything spoiled, but I will head over there and set up a loudspeaker system. And hopefully that will tell us what exactly is going on. I have a little bit of iron, a little bit of copper. Programmable speaker. And then let's head over there. What train is that? Is that the prod module train? Why are you running? Did I set you to just like run all the time? If I did, it's fine. I don't think we're ever going to run out of like rocket fuel for you to make that trip. I'm just surprised that I didn't signal you. The bioflux train is definitely run all the time. That I'm not worried. But you... Well, I guess so. Anyway. So you need to clear all this spoilage up. You probably should have made sure you had bioflux to do this. Because now you've just kind of wasted 10 of your rockets. So why don't you have bioflux then? You're shipping some, but it goes bad quickly. Why aren't you making faster trips? Because you're not making blue circuits fast enough. Yeah, you can't build the rockets fast enough. You may actually need to put the circuit factories on Gleba. Yeah. Interesting. Well, if this... you did drop off fast enough. Let's see if you can get bioflux down here. And then down over here. Yeah, there's a bunch of spoil... Oh, you know what? We're not removing spoilage out of that chest. So if any bioflux spoils, it gums up the entire factory. That's what happened. In that case, I need a requester chest that requests spoilage. That constantly unloads onto this belt. And then you unload. Yeah, that's 100% what happened. Okay. So you're running again, and ideally you just run forever. But what I would like to know is, does bioflux ever run out? And I can do that by attaching you to green. Circuit connection is bioflux equals 0. I actually don't need sound, but I would like to see an alert. There. So if we run out of bioflux, that thing will ping, and then I'll be able to go and debug it and figure out what exactly is happening. So it may not be a Gleba throughput problem after all. It may just have been a case of the first time that batch of bioflux spoils, it gums up everything. Which would be positive if that was all that it took. So, let's go ahead and start our next spaceship. And this is going to be the spaceship. Low density structure prod 8. What are you out of? You're out of... You don't hold enough. Alright, this is going to 2,500. I don't have enough space to hold it all. We need to dump some of this calcite. We're shipping too much calcite right now. That's why that production's died. Let's have you work on something else then. You need volcanic science for that. Why don't you work on epic quality? That'll give the lab something to do. And then you need steel. And you need space platform. There we go. So, first things first, this ship, platform technically, I guess, is going to be a double nuclear reactor. Single nuclear reactor is not cutting it for the inner system ships, so there is no way that single nuclear reactor is going to cut it for the outer system ships. Number 2, I'm probably going to have 12 ice filters. And I don't think I'm going to have them run on main belt like this either. I think I'm going to have them run on dedicated belt. And number 3, we needed to include rocket turrets. Because we need a way to destroy big asteroids. So it's going to look similar to existing versions of ships, but it is not going to look the same. It is going to have some very minor differences. Right. Just turn that off. Build new space platform. This is the Aquilo Sojourner. Off you go. While I am planning this thing, I don't want any of you to fill automatic requests. I don't want you to send any stuff up. I'm going to build the prototype by hand, and then we're going to build a couple more of them once we figured out the initial design characteristics. Lovely. Aquilo Sojourner. So, first things first. Double nuclear reactor. It will, on the bright side, be symmetrical. So we can have one here, one here. These are going to output 80, I believe, is how much twinned nuclear reactors do. Yeah, they should do 80, because one is 20. One is 40. So each of those are going to do 80. You're going to have 160 total megawatts coming out of this thing. One heat exchanger handles 10. So you're going to need 16. You can go 1, 2, 3. No, not like that. Well, maybe like that. Actually, I do think that works. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah. That's fine. You can have water hook in at the ends, and then you can have it go under the space platform hub to share between all of these. And then how many turbines are you going to need? You're going to be producing 16 times 103 steam. 1648. No, wait, that's not how you do that. Yeah, no, it is. 103 times 16. You have 1648, and then how much does a turbine use? 16. You're gonna need 28 of these things. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 12. 18. 24. 27. You could just say that's good enough. And then how are you getting spent fuel cells out? You can go like this. Nope, that's not going to work. You're going to need to use an underground. You're going to go like this. You might as well use turbos, I guess. And then you're filtered on... There you are. You like that? What if you moved all these to like here? Because you wanted a wide ship. It means that you can take out... Oh, you need a way to get heat pipes around to those other ones too, don't you? Do. Huh. Yeah, you didn't think about that at all. How are you getting heat pipes to the far ones? Yeah, you have to change this whole thing. Well, you might not need to change the whole thing, but at a minimum, you'll need to change this. So these heat pipes are connected to each other, which means these share heat. This can just come down like that. And then you need 8 more. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Run heat pipe like that. These don't need to even be undergrounds anymore for the time being. How are you going to hook water into them? Like this. That's going to be too far to connect. But could you run it like this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can. So you can have your water pipe snake around like this. And then you would still have an underground here. And here. Your steam pipe would go under here and come up here. Under here and up here. And connect in like that. So that's unified steam. And then you can feed it into turbines coming off the side if you wanted to. Which again, you need 28 of these roughly. Wait, that's water. You can't have that connect there. So this is 16. No, it's 12. It's 24. 25, 26, 27, 28. And you just have a belt that snakes out like this. Same thing over here. You still don't really know what you're doing with your water pipe. But it's not bad. You have world's easiest water tanks to do at the ends here. Water here, water here. And then as far as steam goes, you just run these like this. And then like this. And that feeds into all of these. Okay. So far, so good. You do insertion. You read temperature. Say 510. Whoop. Not quite yet. Okay. So that's power core done. Yeah. I think that's power core done. I don't love how janky this pipe arrangement is, but I don't think there's much to be done about it. And then we just fill in these gaps. Next. Next, you need to figure out your water. So if you're going to be collecting water back here, why don't you run your chem plants directly out the back? You would go 1... Come a little further away. You're never going to get them symmetrical with the hub, though. Because the hub is 8 wide and chem plants are 3 wide. So you either need to... that is one approach. You know, that is one approach. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4. No, you need storage. You need carrying space. You can't just have this thing be the space hub. You need to have cargo bays as well. So those are going to expand out like this. And you're going to need a lot of storage space because this thing's flying to and from Aquilo. So you may actually want 2 separate racks of water melters, which could go here. I wish that that pipe was not there. Can I get these to connect any other way? Not that I can immediately see, no. Maybe if you turn them on their side. How would that look? Then you could go, because that's steam. You can only fit in 2 then. That doesn't seem right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's only 9. You can be 1 further back and still connect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, you can't. There is only space for 8. But if you slide them back a little bit, and you do something like this, it still doesn't work. You're right. I definitely want it to go wide. I want it to be a wide boy. Because I think wide ships are cool. Wait, no, I pull you back 1. I didn't have it in the right place. It actually comes back 2. Yeah, so it's actually like that. So this is 8. This is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. That's too many. But if I remove you, and you, and you, and you, then I have 26. Which is not exactly ratio perfect, but it's pretty close. And then I have this cool little like wing pattern. And maybe that's neat. But more importantly, it frees up space for water pipe. So how many water melters do you have? Remember, you're going to be consuming so much more water on this platform with double nuclear reactors running. It's going to be 8, 16 times 10, So 160 water. $20, $40, $60, $80, $120, $140, $160, $180, $200, $220. This will be $440. I can only assume that'll be enough. Because that's a lot of water. I guess they don't have to be undergrounds. Yeah, fair enough. And then if you are crushing constantly, how much ice do you make? 3.25 per second. And you consume 1. So 3, 6, 9... Well, 3.25. That's 10. You can say that you can get away with 2 crushers. And you're not that far off. Epic quality is done. We should be able to let low density structure run now. So there's going to be a belt that goes past you like this. I think you can actually make it even more snug. Something like that. Nope, because you're going to need to take out of it as well. Yeah, but then, like, what are you going to do with that? It just looks weird. Kill it. Okay. Hey, this you can do. That's relatively innocuous. You are going to be in charge of taking out ice asteroids. You are going to be inserting everything, and then you are also only going to take out ice. You are going to run this recipe. We do not need to worry about any other byproducts from you. Fill in some gaps. You have a lot of space here to do something with. Maybe that's where you should run the water instead. Lets you get up way cozier to that tank. I guess you could have just copied and pasted, but too late now. Okay. So that hooks in water on that side. This hooks in water on this side. You can copy and paste this, flip it horizontally, put it here. That should be water for the whole platform. Shouldn't take anything else. Should be enough for fuel. The whole 9 yards. That's not right. Just copy and paste it. There you go. And then down here, you're going to have 4 crushers that handle this. These are the ones that take out ice. These are the ones that crush ice. Turbo belt is going to come past here. Past here. Removes chunks, takes in chunks, removes, takes in. Chunks only. Copy this here. Okay. Happier with that. Again, a lot of dead space, but this will now be closer to the back of the ship, where we might be able to get away with, like, a laser turret as something that uses space back there. Who knows? Actually, you have room for one more chem plant back here. Is that excessive? What if you shave the 2 on the bottom? And then you replace it with one more that's further up. It does shorten the overall length of the ship. And then this can just be a full pipe. Yeah. You know? Not horrible. So how much ice production do you have? 12? No, 22. 22 and 20 is 440. How much ice do you need to keep that running? 11. Your math on those crushers is not right. It's 3.25 times 2 is only 6.5. You need like 4 crushers. Okay, but I can do that. We can go 1, 2. No, you're gonna need to do them the long way. How are you gonna make this fit? That's a question. Well, no, you're gonna need 8. Right? Because the actual amount of ice that you need is... Oh, wait, these are 9. 9 and 2 is 18. 18 divided by 3.25. You're going to need 6. If you need 6, have them run through a splitter. Something like this. Then you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With inserters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these do only ice. These do oxide asteroid crushing. And then same thing here. You do oxide. Third time we've rebuilt this. Will this time be the charm? Maybe. It is a much tighter layout, which is good. And this is about as wide as I think I ever want this ship to get as well. Or about as long as I ever want this ship to get. We're going to have a little bit of defense up front, but I want to pack out the sides here. That would be like more of a flying V, because I think that'll be neat. Okay, so that's water done for nuclear power. It's also water done in general. Do these networks talk to each other? Not yet. Now they do. So all of the water on the ship is now in one water network, as far as I know. And I really hope these connect to each other. They should. So all water is in the same network. Now we can move on to doing things like fuel, which means you're going to need to figure out how many engines the ship has. The provisioner has 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And 11 is pretty good. I think this may also be an 11 engine ship, even though it's going to be slightly higher mass. So you would go, leave a little bit of room at the top to run pipes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then later I'd like to have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 down here. But if you're going to be running 11 engines, then you will need 1320 thruster fuel, 1320 oxidizer per second. Roughly. You can build up a bit of a backlog, but I would like these ships to be flying more or less continuously. You make 150, so 1320 divided by 150 is 8.8. We'll say 8. We want 8 of these. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to be a turbo belt that runs down the middle. It's the wrong direction. No, I don't like that. You can go like that. Then you go under. Tie in here for water supply. Tie in here for material supply. These are going to be a problem. You actually need to move this thing back by 1. That's actually really annoying. You actually don't need to do it that way. You can do it this way instead. You can have the chem plants feed directly off this water line. Like this. And then they'll just unite down at the other end. Here and here. Belt. So you need 0.2468 1, 1.2, 1.4, 1.6 carbon per second. Let's see if we can do that with a single crusher. You do 6.5 per second. That's more than enough. You need 1, 2, 3, 4, 0.8 calcite per second. You do 0.5. I'm going to need 2 calcite crushers. And then that also makes a negligible amount of ice, which I can extract onto this belt. Like this. So you grab ice off of the primary belt, and you help feed it into this whole contraption. And that keeps our ice topped up in the water melters. So turbo here. Here. You're going to have a turbo that swoops down like this, and then stops for a brief visit, and then comes back up here. And swoops down here to stop for a brief visit, and then turns. You are going to only filter on carbonic asteroid chunk. You can grab anything you want. You will be only oxide asteroid chunk. Oh, and then where do you take your ice out? You can also remove ice. And you can just put ice back on the belt. And then you only grab oxide chunks, and you only grab calcite, which is here. And you only grab carbon, which is here. So that's how you're going to work. Grab you, flip you horizontally, move you over here. This is going to be our oxidizer. You are going to be exactly the same. Except I want to invert these inserters so that it's trying to grab chunks that it already produced. Nope, you had it right the first time. There you go. You are going to be... What do you need? Iron ore? How much iron ore? 2468. 1.6. You make an impressive 13 per second. Only ever going to need one of those. Spare metallic chunks go out the back. All of your inserters are configured correctly. Oh, and then all these belts need to get rotated. Yeah, I can deal with that later. In fact, I can deal with all these later. We'll figure out how to do that routing later on. Not necessary for now. So that is fuel taken care of. The only thing that we have left to do now is ammunition production. This seems like a decent spot to cram it in. So how do we do it on the current ships? We have 3 into 3. And that's ratioed out to be roughly correct. And we have no ammunition problems on this ship whatsoever. So we're going to do 1 foundry into 3 foundries into 3 assemblers. And we don't want it to be too far from the main belt. do actually earmark where those need to go. So that you don't accidentally overwrite them. Okay. Where are you supplying the calcite to that thing? Oh, this is the only one that needs calcite. Duh. Okay. So you can do... This belt is going to come around like this. And then around like that. You can actually get a foundry in right here. No, it's just one too wide. Well, you can kind of fudge it. You can go like this. No, that looks really bad. Yeah, you could also do the insane... You could do this and just leave all that space barren and use double long-handed. Actually, if you did that here, you leave yourself space for a turret. Like a laser turret here. It's a little interesting. Sure, why not? And then we can do foundry here. We can do foundry here. It never needs to pull anything off the belt. You make molten iron. We have a crusher that sits here and a crusher that sits here. You make metallic asteroid crushing. You take out metallic asteroid chunks. You make calcite. You take out ice and oxide asteroid chunks. You should only ever have valid targets. Then you can have 3 foundries run like this. Yeah? Or like this. Because I don't think you're going to be able to pull off direct insertion. You also have a ton of space over here. You do have a ton of space over there. You're not wrong. Are you going to need to make copper for the missiles? Iron plate explosives. No, but you're going to need to make coal. How are you going to make coal up here? Isn't there some weird coal recipe that you can use? How are you going to make explosives up here? Coal. Coal synthesis. Oh, I guess you would just use this coal synthesis recipe. Okay. But you don't need copper, which is convenient. So you can run 3 like this. Have all of them do casting. And then you would have 3 assembler 2s. Like this. And you'd have a metal pipe that just runs over here. Because you'll need to pull a little bit of extra iron off of it for rockets. And in fact, 25, 50, 75, you may want 4 foundries. Just to be safe. But not, well, no, you don't need that here, though. Because here you're only making the ammunition. And then what side of the belt do you want it on? You want it on far side. No, you want it on near side. Near side is where the ammo goes. You could go like this. Wait, how would you do that? What if you move these out by 1? And then these are red inserters. Are reds going to be able to keep up with this thing? 5 per second? No, absolutely not. They won't be able to. I really don't want to have to belt the iron plate. Is my only thing. You're going to come down like that, and that's fine. I love that for you. Why don't you take care of your molten pipe as well? Oh, also, how are you getting the oxidizer out of there? You should figure that out. Because you're going to want that to go in a tank. Why don't you move this whole assembly a little further down? Like here. Then you can have a crusher here. And a crusher here. You are going to pick up metallic asteroid chunks. Although I think I'm going to invert your order. You don't need to use filters. You can only ever fill up with iron ore. You take out oxide chunks and ice. You crush ice with the calcite recipe. And you put into this foundry as well. And then you would be making melted iron. All of this will likely need to be underground. So there's that. I just want to see if I can come up with a clever way to get ammo out of this thing cleanly. But I don't think I can. I need to leave more space, I think. Yeah, I just need more space. Anyway, you do that. You do this. So we'll do it the way that I think is going to not look as good, but will at least be functional. That's actually going to screw your whole belt up if you do it there. It is, you're right. You can have it come out the top then, instead of the bottom. You're fine. Because you're going to come down like that. We'll have the ammo belt come up like this. And then because we want it to be on the inside, we'll just have an inserter there. And then as far as this goes, it's boring, but it works. And I actually think I want you to be a stack inserter. So do I want to put any kind of circuit controls on you? I could just circuit control the stack inserter so that it's reading off of the amount of ammo on that belt. That would keep it from oversaturating itself. That is probably the most expedient way to do things. It's kind of starting to take shape. You could actually save a little bit of space here. Trim these out, trim these out, trim that off. And then you do have space for turrets here, which is kind of nice. So you can at least do something with that space. This, I think, is dumb, though. So over here on the other side is where we are going to want to put rocket production. Let's just bring this closer. You don't need to be reds anymore. There we go. You are going to filter on metallic chunk. So, rockets. We need explosives and we need iron plate. Iron plate, relatively easy. How many rockets do we want to make, though? Let's say we want to do the same setup of 1, 2, 3. You need 0.6. So one foundry can easily run 3 rocket manufacturers. And you have spare iron ore that you're making. So actually, I think I'm going to have you output like this. Oh, but where are you going to get the explosives from? That's fine. Leave that pipe there. How many... So if I have 3... If I have 3 of you... Actually, how many rockets does that make? 1 per second? That's actually a little scary. How many spare iron plates are you going to have? You're going to have almost 4 spare iron plates. So 1, 2, 3. You could do 4 rocket manufacturers. And I actually think you take a foundry. You can do 1, 2, 3, 4. You can actually do a neat little direct insertion configuration with that, where you make iron, and then you go 4 rockets. So you can do that. And that's a fairly compact little rocket assembly. But the real question is how many chem plants do you need to support that? You need 0.3 explosives per second times 4. So about 1.2. You're going to need 3. Err on the side of caution and say 4. You can actually get this insanely compact. Check this out. Oh, but then how are you getting water in? You rotate. Like that. That's a really sweet little robot. Or a little rocket manufacturer. May not be exactly ratio perfect, but it's pretty close, and it's also pretty cool. So then your last question is, how do you get sulfur into sulfur and carbon into these sulfur and coal into these chem plants? You need 1 sulfur. That crusher will do 0.5. So you're going to need 2 of them. You can go 1 here, 1 here. You'll have this belt. You'll have this belt. Okay. You and you. Don't immediately know where that thing is going to get put yet. What if you don't do central engines? Oh, you can't have that thing be central because it's got an odd number to it. True. So you're going to need to find a place to put it over here. But that takes care of your sulfur. And then you need to make coal using this coal synthesis recipe. 0.5. So again, you'll need 1 of these for each side. You'll need 5 total. 1.3, 2.6. You're going to need 2 of those crushers on each side. I like this build. I like all the direct insertion that it does. I'm wondering if I might not want to make it inline so that it matches more with what's going on this side of the base. And also, just because I see it right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, son of a... That'll get it through. I need a way to relocate this molten iron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're going to do a little something like this. And that's going to bring you over to the other side. Bring this over because it's a useful reference. You are going to go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're going to go here. That doesn't make sense. You don't line up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's why. You go there. You would then go here. No, you wouldn't go there. This part's just not going to be symmetrical. Slide you even further over to here. Also bring these out so you don't forget about them. Okay. Oh, this is annoying. These pipes specifically are annoying. Because this is premium tank real estate to hold fuel. I do think I'm going to move these a little bit. I don't know immediately where I'm going to put them. But this is just a really nice spot to have the fuel tanks. This can go. I really like the shape of this ship so far, and I want to preserve that. It looks good, and more importantly, it looks symmetrical, which is a rarity. I just have to figure out where I'm making rockets. And then everything else is super easy, like connecting up the main belt, really easy. Yeah, just don't leave it for now. All right, so you need you need 4 into 1 into 4. And then you'll need 2 of these. And then how many of the coal synthesis chem plants do you need? 0.5. You'll need 2. So you need this, and then you need 5 carbon, which these generate. So really, the configuration that you want is you want this, and then you want these. You want advanced, 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 because you need all of the sulfur. Right? 1. No, you actually only need half the sulfur. You can be regular carbonic processing then. No, wait, you need all the sulfur. Yeah. You need all the sulfur. So this is your coal synthesis. There's a belt that runs back here. You take out, you put in. Take out. Carbonic. Put in anything you can find. What's up, Abuelita? You're fine. You can grab anything you want. It does not matter. Oh, but there's a way that these could back up. If your sulfur ratio isn't perfect, these will back up eventually. You're right. The easiest way to solve that problem is like this. No, because then carbon is a waste product in that crusher. You are going to need a better system here. Well, just to puzzle it out. That puts coal onto the belt. On the far side. This puts sulfur onto the belt on the near side. So this configuration is not very space efficient. Like, this is all just wasted space. However, it does put coal and sulfur on the same belt so that I can make explosives with it. You do 0.5 into 0.5. 1.3, 2.5. Like, this I like. I do like this. And then these would both circuit onto you. And they would only read if contents not included in crafting was like more than 5 coal. And then they would just take everything out of this machine. And then when this machine ran out of coal, they would stop and everything else would go in here. No, but that wouldn't work if they backed up. Don't like it. I don't think it's the right approach. I think you want dedicated sulfur, and then you just want carbon disposal. So if you wanted that, that would look like this. This is taking out carbonic asteroid chunks. I'm going to do it the easy way because I don't have the brain power left to do it the right way. You come through like that. Both of you are doing advanced carbonic. No, wait, maybe you do have the brain power for this. Maybe you do. This is sulfur. This is carbon. Something's happening. You need 4 of these, though. It's fine, just copy-paste it. Pull that down. You need 2 chemical plants. Doing coal synthesis. How are you going to get water to them? You can just have this belt go underground here. We're abandoning all semblance of symmetry. So coal synthesis, coal synthesis. You can have these belts turn into each other. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And then everything else that's a waste product past this point, I think can be hurled off of the platform. So maybe just save that. Now, maybe there's other places you can use it. Like in the explosives. I actually think you need to use them in the explosives. So this is going to give you coal. Coal is going to go there. Then you need to make 4 explosives. Easy, man. Easy. What did you get that coal for? Oh, coal and sulfur. Right. Okay. So past this point, you're done with carbon. This isn't the way you want to do this belt. Carbon is on far belt. Keep carbon on far belt forever. Sulfur on near belt. Slide this down by 1. Move sulfur to near side of belt. Pick up sulfur. Slide this down by 1 more. So the only thing on this belt right now is sulfur. Slide this down by 1 more. We're gonna get there. We're gonna do it. Move these down by 1. You go here. This is annoying empty space, actually. Can I do anything with that? Is there a better way to get sulfur on the inside of this belt? My thinking is carbon outside of this belt. This belt carrying carbon, done. This inner belt, we're taking some sulfur off of it, we're putting coal onto it, but then sulfur and coal are on the same belt, and we can feed it directly into the explosives plants. The only thing that I don't like is this giant gap. And I don't know what to do about the giant gap. But maybe we just accept that the giant gap exists. Maybe we're okay with giant gap. I can't fit another crusher there. A crusher's too big. I can't have you loop around the outside of that belt. That's not going to work. The only way that I can do a lane switch like that, as far as I know, is with a 3 wide gap. Unless there's some weird inserter magic that I'm not thinking of. No, it would still take 3. No, wait, you could do it in 2. You can do it in 2 like this. If this can go. You go here. No, that's still 3. Yeah, that's still 3. Alright. Then this is just the way it has to be. It has to be like that. But that keeps everything on the side of the belt that we need it to be on for the explosives. So, for the sake of symmetry, we can do explosives manufacture on this side. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to hope that this is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Beauty. This pipe comes down like this. This is the belt with our explosives on it. Or with our explosives ingredients on it. It's going to come in like that. Don't like how cramped this is. Maybe I could pull this out a little bit. No, because then how are you getting the water through there? It's going to be tight with the fuel. I don't like this. Don't like it. Don't like it. How much space do we have? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We could go out 4 more on this side and still have it technically be symmetrical. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. And in fact, we may want it to go a little further out than that still. Because we're going to need to line the side of the ship with turrets. I just want to use space down here. Whatever. We'll figure it out. Or explosives plants. Explosives are going to come out the back. Like this. Your ingredients are going to come down like this. And then any excess on this belt can just get chucked into space. Then I do really like this idea. I just don't think it's going to be right for now. So I can at least get rid of this belt. And just keep some parts of it intact. Because I can wrangle some of the rest of it with like a splitter. You fit kinda nice there. So you'd have splitter here, splitter here. Inserter here and here. then splitter here. And then the only question that you have is how you get molten metal into there. But that should be fairly easy to do. Also, it's not really a wide ship anymore. Well, no, you can add some width with like turrets and stuff. It should be fine. It's all gonna be really cramped engine quarters. Like, you might want to start planning some of this stuff now. This is gonna have to go underground, for example. And then you would go underground. You would go above ground here, underground again. Above ground here, underground again. Whereas you would have to go like this. I think that fuels everything. Pass through here. Insert here. You need one more over here. So that's your 5 engines. You could have 3 more like this. And then 3 more like that. It's a little boxy in a way that I don't really like. But I guess it's not horrible. I actually don't know how I'm going to get oxidizer into you, though. You might want to way out here on the ends. That would help with the width profile of the ship. No, because then how are you getting it past this giant installation? I need to rebuild this whole thing. It's just, this isn't going to work. It's not the right space for that. So how are you going to get explosives? I wish that I could route through here, but there's not really room. Well, maybe there is. What if you did a really long belt? And then you did sets of explosives here. And then you pulled all of this just back further. Then, what would you have? Explosives there and there. Which are going to be coming off of this belt. Leave yourself a little bit of space there, because you're going to need an underground coming out of that. That's your thruster fuel. So earmark that space here and here, so that you remember it. Right, so that's 1. And then you come around like that for 2. Okay. Then what's your plan? I will tell you so far, I don't hate it. Especially because you can rotate these and you have really easy access to water here. What? How are these not crushing fast enough? They have spoilage in them. Oh, frick. I need to go fix that. The spoilage never got fully crushed. Please hold. Also, how are you not shipping science? There's so much to fix. Oh, there's always something to fix. Please, hurry. My biter eggs, they're very sick. Good thing we built secondary and tertiary defenses down here. Alright, get these out of here. Get these out of here. Do I still have that heating tower on me? No, you didn't make it. Well, bright side. It looks like this is starting to catch up. Are those threes in here? They're only twos. I don't ship threes down here, unfortunately. Where did I put that heating tower if I didn't put it down here? Did I just put it down somewhere else randomly? Can I make a new one? No. I don't know where it went. Am I making headway on this thing, though? No. Jesus. Well, maybe. So we're eating one of the lanes right now. I don't think you're making any headway on this thing. You produce too many eggs. What do you need to make a heating tower right now? Everything. Okay, that's not ideal. Right side, you have 6 prod modules. Wait a minute. When you drop off prod modules, you don't have any kind of wiring on you. Oh my god, we've made so many. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. How do I tell you to stop? We have too many of them. I think we just go like that. Yeah, I think we have like 1,000 prod 3s right now. We do not need that many. And then you also can stop. Okay, this is starting to go down. I should probably bring some... Do I have more? I have more recyclers. Let's just do this. We'll just extend out. And even though they don't have 3s in them, it should still be a little extra egg destruction. Alright. I think I can comfortably not look at that anymore. We can go back to looking at this. You need to go under... like that. you need to go under here. And then you need to go under like that. So now we have explosives. We can put explosives on a belt. And then we just need to combine them with iron. And then we need to build them. So we'll go... We want them on inner lane? Yes, because asteroids go on outer lane. But I want to use a stack inserter on them. So we'll go... 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't like this shit, but it's gonna work. No, I don't like this, because I still need to get iron onto this belt, too. I need all of the explosives plants to be in the same place. And the way that we're going to preserve rough symmetry is through having the chem plant sit in one place, and then the assemblers to make the rockets sit in the other. It's just the only way that this is going to work in a way that I like. I refuse to build a ship that does not look cool. And if you don't like that, tough. So, water pipe is here. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe this isn't where I put the fuel tanks then. Because that's kind of what's giving me the biggest issues right now. This is the problem. What if we go like this? Unify fuel here. Have a single pipe that runs out like this, but move fuel way closer to the side of the ship. Like this. Then, can you fit chem plants in? You can go 1, 2, 3, 4. That can go underground. This can go underground. Four explosives. Including a very tidy belt. That you can't pick up from. I think I kind of have something here, so I'm going to run it anyway, though. I just have to figure out how to move this pipe. This is the closest that I've been to liking it in some time, so I need to pursue this vision and see where it goes. It means that you go under here. It means that you come up here. And then it means that you would go under again. Yeah. So you sitting there means that I would have 4 assemblers here, here, here. You can do this. Let's really smush it against it. And then that's how your water comes in. And then this can be an underground. And then these need to slide down one. Yeah. And then you need to be normal pipe and you need to be underground. But that's water hooked up for all 4 of them. Which means you can slide this over by 1. Have that be symmetric. Run an explosives belt like this. Insert here and here. And then put another foundry on the other corner. Oh my god, it's going to be symmetrical. The other foundry would go here. Yeah. And you make iron, you cast iron plates. And then you would need to put iron plates on the near side of this belt, which you can do. You guys put explosives on the far side of that belt, which you can do. There's even room for turrets here. Oh my god, it's all coming together. Everything's working. Holy cow, I cannot believe it. Stack inserter so that you can put stacks of rockets on. It's working. It's actually working. Have this go the other way. Then you have more space to fiddle around with how you're going to get your thruster out of here. Which you should do now, because I don't exactly remember how it works. There's an underground here. So you go like that. So that you come up like this. So that you go like that, and then you weave in. Which means that you would then go like this. Stack inserter here. This is good, man. This is really good. The only thing you have to do now is figure out how to get your molten iron over there. It's not going to be these pipes anymore. Hey, you could just weave it along this belt on the back, I guess. Or you could weave it here. Or you could find a better way to get ice off. Okay, we're going to find a better way to get ice off that belt. Because this spot is just too good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, I can just do that. And then do the same thing on this side. You just do it here. Okay, really good. Now, the only thing you have left to do is plug in fuel. And that, hopefully, at this point, should be pretty trivial. This is oxidizer. Bring oxidizer down to here, plug it in like that. This is thruster fuel. It's a little more complicated. But you can make it work. It goes like that, and then it goes like that. So that's your 5 engines. The only problem that you're presented with now is that the back half of this ship is super flat. But you know what you haven't done yet is solar. And you're going to need solar to kickstart this ship on. So why don't you put down some of that, and that will help add some dimension to the overall shape of the vessel. So solar like that, and then you want 6 more engines. What about something like this? Right, thrusters can't be flipped. And then something like this. Don't like that. Do like engine placement? Engine placement, great. No notes, engine placement. That's going to be your thruster in. And then your oxidizer in is all pass-throughs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Convenient how that works out. Over here, your thruster is all pass-throughs. So you need oxidizer to come up like this. Something like that should work. Okay, I'm starting to become happy with the shape. We can do a little bit of this. In turn, oh, that belt is a little wider over on that side, huh? Alright, back to the drawing board. I mean, here is the obvious fit. Right. And if I could find a way to get one more in there, that would be cool, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. 10 solar panels is definitely not enough to kickstart this thing. So we can go like this. We can space fill some accumulators. Paste all this in. Fill in potential donuts. Why is there a gap of only one here? Should be 2 and 2. What went wrong? Unclear. I'm just gonna leave it, because it looks fine. I'm also gonna fit a little more solar in. Alright, so this ship now needs defense. It is very vulnerable from the back. And that has me a little concerned. So we may need to rethink those outboard engines. But for the most part, I think it's looking really good. It's also going to be hard for us to get an asteroid belt crusher on this side, or an asteroid grabber on this side. Here is fine. Here is tough. Actually, maybe it's not. You grab from here. You grab from here. Also finish this belt. And maybe leave space in some of these nooks and crannies for laser turrets and or gun turrets. You can go straight over here. You are entirely in charge of taking out spent fuel cells. underground, around, underground, underground, underground. All right, so that's the whole belt connected for the ship. Now we can finish putting in grabbers. You've got good coverage there. Probably have one up here. One here. No, that's too much. One here, one here. And then like one. Let's put the guns in first because the grabber should go further out. Here is fine. I don't think you have to worry much about that. How many rocket launcher turrets do you want on this thing? Also, they're 3x3. You haven't really accounted for that in a lot of places on this ship. Huh. Yeah, maybe you should be a little concerned about that. Maybe you should. I actually think that might be a bigger problem than you realize. Well, do the front of the ship. And that should be fairly easy, right? Oh, they have like a donut range. Ugh. Yeah, because I want them to like sit in the interior here. So that way they can hit things. You can do a little bit of that. And then copy your orders over as well. The only thing you shoot are big asteroid. And you ignore unlisted target. You are only going to shoot medium. And you want more lasers than you think up here. Like laser, 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 laser. These are going to shoot smalls. Two more rockets. Fill these in. Put you in. So I feel like that's good rocket coverage for the front of the ship. I feel like I still need more turret coverage, though. And definitely more laser turret coverage. So with that out of the way, now how are you feeling about grabbers? Pretty good. I think they'll have good reach on stuff out front. And they want to put onto far side. far side is where asteroids go. Then with this space in the middle, I'm putting a lot of trust in the gun turrets to do good DPS. I just don't want anything getting close to the ship. So, front of the ship, very comfortable. Feeling very good. Positive emotions about that. Sides of the ship, less so. Turret coverage reaches all the way out to about there. Then I think the next place that I would want rocket launchers is here and here. And we'll have these guys go a little wide around there. That covers almost to the back of the ship. It does. Okay. So what does that mean for you? I don't know yet. Yeah, that's going to put on far side. You're good. And in fact, if you're going to do that, you can slide it back in one more. Like that. And then you don't need that belt. And you don't need that space platform. Okay, good. The next place you might want to have some capture is off to the side. Like here, maybe? There's going to be a little bit of a dead zone, but that's okay. You can go like that. Find where you fit. It's here. And you can go like that. I think you're good on rocket launcher turrets here. You have run out of bioflux. Why? You are you're waiting for uranium fuel cells, and you can't automatically send up uranium because otherwise it's going to start building one of the ship. Yeah, I think we're fine to start building the ship. Auto request. Also, that's caught up. How about just don't auto request missing construction materials? How about that? Much easier. So all of you guys can start auto requesting again. And that's fine. Okay. Gun turrets. Boom, boom, boom. Fill in the gaps. Fill in the gaps. Solar panel would fit kind of nicely here. Yep. Okay. It looks okay on firepower so far. It's just a question of where these rocket turrets at the back are going to fit. I really want them to be here, and maybe it means moving this whole engine array back to, like, here. Just to simplify things. So let's redo all of this pipe work. Sever everything here. And sever everything here. No, wait, that was wrong. Sever everything here. So you're just a stub. This is oxidizer. Oxidizer, still connected. Good. You are loading bioflux. Did the bioflux train drop off? No, you've got 0 bioflux. Fortunately, they're not hungry yet. I think we'll be okay. Anyway. Oh, I got attacked. How about that? Anyway. This is thruster. There has to be a cleaner way to get thruster fuel in here. And I think it might be this. Is that an improvement? I think that's an improvement. So now we can draw off of that belt with long-handeds. And it just barely reaches the edge of the platform. I need to tuck these engines in. I need to put like one rocket launcher turret here. And then one rocket launcher turret here. And then one here. It really, like, as far out as they'll go. Maybe here. And here. And then as for how we get the supply belt out to them, we go like this. And we go like this. And then we go like this. Wait, that's not right. There's a pipe in the way. And as usual, it is the thruster pipe. But this is the coverage we want. All we have to do is keep those rocket turrets firing, and they will take care of everything else. Then on the periphery, we have a couple of these guys. I'd really like you to go here, but you're not going to cooperate with the way that these pipes work. So that's okay. Because I can just do that as well. And then I can do that. I can grab you. You're going to need to be long-handed, though. Like that, in order to reach. Also, you need to plug your thruster back in. Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. God, it's so ugly. Well, why don't you just run it up by one? Like, that'll do. That's fine. And then these you need to plug back in. Do you still love the idea of those? Yeah, I think so. They do make the ship look cool. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It looks real ugly. It looked real ugly. Maybe you bring them closer. Maybe coolness factor isn't the only thing there is. Does this look any cooler? You have a really nice connection here, but how are you getting oxidizer all the way up to that other one? You also have a really nice connection here. And then a not so horrible connection here. But surely we can't just run it off of 7 engines. That's not nearly enough. Oh, we could do something a little weird. What about like this? So a thruster connects here. How about this? Oh, I kind of like that, you know. I kind of like that quite a bit. Is it space efficient? Not particularly. Is it cool? Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Also, importantly, it gives us lots of space for extra solar. You know what? I think I like that. I think that's okay. I think this is an okay one. We do not need a ton of defenses down here either. So that's 8. 10 solar. That is not going to be enough. 12 is likely not to be much better. But maybe it'll be enough to let it kickstart. Laser, laser. Accumulator, accumulator. Copy your target priorities over. You are missing turret coverage in this corner of the ship. That turret only reaches out so far. Does one here make it any better? No. That engine could still get shredded sometimes. How are you going to get ammo out to that? I think I maybe see how. This is in laser coverage, right? Yeah, it's perfectly within laser coverage. So this isn't going to be able to stack insert, unfortunately. However, I can long-handed here, grabbing ammo. Just ammo. And have it weave down like this. And that's one potential solution. And then the same thing over here. Except easier, harder. You'd have to get rid of that solar panel. So get rid of that one for the sake of symmetry. And then here you fast insert her off of this. Go like this. You out like that. Here, here, here. Copy gun turret priorities. So rocket coverage, you're done. Rockets can cover everything on the ship. Do not have to worry about them. You have a little bit of extra accumulator space here. You're only capturing asteroids from the front right now. I'd like to add a little bit more back here, but there's just no room. So I think we're gonna leave it at the front, and then the like control logic we can put in here right at the front as well. You need an inserter, as do you. And then you've got a big area here and here that just isn't going to have turret coverage. So the furthest up you can get is about there. I think you need to go like this, this, and this. That will not be symmetric on that side because that side of the ship is wider. You need to go boom, boom, boom. It's wider by quite a bit, actually. You also don't have garbage disposal for your carbon at this point. So why don't you add that? And then this is just going to be, if you see carbon, throw it off the side. We don't need to bother saving any. You're going to need the same thing for sulfur, though. Because it's possible that sulfur can back up. And if sulfur backs up, then you're not pulling carbon out of that thing. Okay. And you would resolve that by doing what? By doing this. Read all belts. Enable if sulfur greater than 100. Filter on sulfur only. So if it sees sulfur on this belt backing up too much, it'll grab sulfur, pull it onto this belt. This inserter always throws out anything it ever sees. And then you need to figure out how to extend this thing along. Why don't you start like this? And then like that, and then like that. How's that for you? Reaches down to about where that belt turns on. Reaches up. Still annoys me so much. But I really don't think that red inserters can keep up with that rate. And no matter how long I spend looking at this, I can't figure out a way to get it to go under the machine somehow. So you get laser here. And laser here. And then laser here. Pretty vulnerable on the sides. However, I think that's a ship that'll fly. So, next time we play, let's build it. But not tonight, because I'm going to go to bed. If you are interested in catching the next time we play Factorio, the best way to do that is going to be by signing up to the Discord. There is also a VODs channel if you want to check up on stuff that we've been doing on the channel in the past. I will see you guys tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern for Guild Wars 2, followed by a little bit more Factorio. But until then, take care, enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.